Firefighters have contained the fire on Signal Hill in Cape Town. They're still at the scene trying to completely extinguish the blaze though that started yesterday. eNCA's Athi Mtongana been up all night covering the story for us, keeping an eye on the fire. Athi, a very good morning to you. And last we spoke, you said those fires had been contained, those flames had been contained, but not completely extinguished. What's happened in the last hour?
Well, what we've seen over the past hour is just patches of smoke, evidently showing that those blazes were rapidly being blown by that southeasterly wind yesterday, with a fire that started along the Signal Hill area, which then spread onto the Sea Point area, Camps Bay. You have a lot of firefighters who were dispersed on the ground to put out the blaze. Now, as much as I have been up monitoring the fire, importantly, you have the firefighters themselves who are still on the ground monitoring the situation. I'm going to move out of shot so my colleague Asanda Javu can show you that there are still some firefighters here behind me who I spoke to, saying how tired they are feeling, obviously because they did not get any sleep last night, trying to make sure that the fires are put out. They did get assistance from some volunteers, residents from Sea Point, coming through to help and assist the firefighters who were trying to put out the blaze, which was seemingly moving up the mountain. So that means no property was at risk of being caught in fire because of the direction of the blaze. However, obviously people were cautioned to stand by for evacuations. No evacuations took place formally from the fire department, saying that they have not yet established the cause of this fire. I'm going to ask my colleague again, Asanda Javu, to pan and show you. We are right now at Lion's Head, where you can see the smoke up this mountain. And like I said, Yuveka, luckily this fire was just going up the mountain as opposed to going down the properties of this area where we are in Lion's Head as well as Sea Point. So no cause has been determined yet. You still see patches of smoke all over the city today, and in fact temperatures are going to be as high as 35 degrees today. But I must say that the dying down or the subsiding of the wind has contributed to the much calmer scenes that we are seeing playing out this morning here in Cape Town.
So Ati, at the moment, if I heard you clearly, the extent or the damage extends just to vegetation in that area?
Definitely, we're yet to confirm from the city of Cape Town how bad the vegetation burnt out yesterday. Now, like I said, that fire that started along the Signal Hill area rapidly moved fast, on a fast pace, being blown by that southeasterly wind all the way to Sea Point and along the Camps Bay area, and not really close to the properties that were close to the fire on the mountain slopes. So, but I must mention, Yuveka, like I said before, how a lot of volunteers came out to assist the firefighters with their wet towels. And you may know that the Western Cape is currently grappling with a drought situation. Water is very much in need in this province, but you obviously had residents coming in to make sure that they assist firefighters with wet towels as much as they could. A lot of people who were worried, some of them volunteering to evacuate their homes without being told by any officials, obviously because they were afraid and preempting that they would be called to evacuate, but no evacuations were called and no injuries were reported, other than people around the Sea Point area saying that they suffered from smoke inhalation.
All right, Ati, I'm going to ask you to play traffic reporter for a few seconds. Now, the smoke that you showed us, does it look like it's going to be affecting visibility on the roads down in the city there?
Not at all. It's not difficult to drive around these areas, Yuveka. Like I said, the wind has subsided at this point, so it's not really fanning the smoke, nor is it fanning the fire at this stage. It seems like all these fires are contained. It is one fire, I must say, that obviously spread across these different areas. And right now, like I said, we're at Lion's Head, where we saw those huge flames yesterday. We couldn't even enter Lion's Head yesterday. We were stopped by traffic officials, but eventually they allowed us in to just film film some of the huge flames that were, burning along the Lion's Head area. But today I can tell you it's a completely different scene, a lot more calmer than what we saw yesterday. But there are still some few road closures to the public, obviously making sure that no one is closer to the areas that were affected, just trying to make sure that firefighters are mopping up operations to make sure that the fire doesn't get fanned up again or doesn't get started up again as a result of the wind. And I must say, I don't know whether or not the fact that today will be hot will be contributing to any fires, but firefighters are on the ground monitoring the situation as the day progresses.
Thanks very much. And exhausted, Athi Mtongana, they've been up just as many hours as those firefighters, keeping an eye on the blaze there since it broke out at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday.